Welcome to a journey, a story to be told, where lives and hearts unfold. It's more than just a label, it's our identity. Breaking free, discovering who we're meant to be. Beyond the binary, we shine so bright. With every step we're taking flight. In every voice, a truth to find. Beyond the binary, we're redefining life. So tune in and join the ride. With love and pride, we're side by side. Beyond the binary, together we'll see the beauty in our diversity. Join the ride with love and pride. We're side by side beyond the binary. Together we'll see the beauty in our diversity. Yeah. The beauty in our diversity.
Welcome back to Beyond the Binary. I'm Julie, and as always I'm here with my wonderful co-host Chloe. How is everything with you today?
I'm doing well, Julia. I'm really looking forward to today's episode. We're going to talk about a significant part of the transgender experience, and that's coming out. This is such an important topic, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts and experiences.
Absolutely. Coming out is a huge step in any transgender person's journey. I'm often filled with mixed emotions, relief, fear, excitement, and relief. And because, coming out has such an impact on your life. And the reactions you will receive will make your personality. It will basically shape your experience in profound ways. Like today we'll be reflecting on those experiences and the lessons we learned from them.
I imagine that coming out can be one of the most challenging parts of the journey. To start, could you share what it was like for you when you first came out as transgender?
Of course, for me coming out was both terrifying and liberating. Like I came out through my friends and I was so scared to lose friends. Like I said previous episode as well, that I came out and I lost more than 50% of my friends. And it's always such a hard part because you never know what will happen when you come out. So that's why you're always terrified, because will my family accept, will my friends accept, will work accept? But at the same time it's also liberating, because at that moment when you're actually coming out, you're like, now I can finally be free. Now I can finally be myself, I can finally live authentically. And I remember when I first told somebody, I was shaking and I couldn't really get my words straight. So when I came out, it was like weight had been lifted off my shoulders.
You described that way, and then it being lifted again. It sounds so intense. When you were preparing to come out, what were some of your biggest concerns or fears, like thinking about that intensity of knowing that that weight might be lifted afterwards, it might not, depending on how the situation goes?
Like one of my biggest fears, of course, was rejection, because
Mm.
you you can never know what your family will say. You never know how they will react. You never know how your friends will react. And the fact that goes through your mind is like, if I tell them now, how will they react to me? Will they reject me? Will they accept me? Like, even when it comes to work, it's such a hard part, because will your job take you you seriously? Like me myself, when I came out, I was worried I would lose my family, my friends, and my work, which eventually I did, because I did get fired for being trans.
Yeah.
Which, trust me, was like one of the worst days of my life, because I love doing my job. I got sent on vacation, forced sent on vacation, and then I got fired. So that was all. That was a fear coming true. But I also feared that people wouldn't take me serious, because most people think that if you're trans, then you are forced to do it, that people push you towards it, that they think you're not being serious about your identity. Well, I know for a fact I am very serious about my identity and the fear of the unknown, because as I keep going on my journey, I never know what I will actually experience and how my life will change after coming out. Would it be better? Would it be worse? I have no clue. And
Mm.
upon this day, I still have no clue whether it will be worse or bad.
Yeah, and those are all such valid concerns considering, your journey and what you went through. How did you decide based on that, feeling and that pressure and that fear, who to come out to first? Was it important for you to tell certain people before others?
Well, it is very important to start with people you trust. For
Hmm.
me, I came out to Felice, a girl I met in college who I talked to daily. Like she thought I was cross-dresser, but she couldn't really put her finger on it
Mm.
because I also didn't confirm anything of it. But then when prom came, I wanted to go as the real me.
Mm.
I wanted to go in a dress and all that stuff. So I told her that, confirming kinda ish what she thought. Not the fact that I'm a cross dresser, but like
Mm.
that didn't really feel myself.
Yeah.
So for me, it was important that she knew because I knew she would react positively, well,
Yeah.
supportively. And so I began with my close friends, and then I started with my sister, which went okay. Then I went to tell my mom and my dad, which was harder than expected because their reactions were so hard, so strong that it, it almost crushed me, you know? Because
Mm.
my mom started crying, my dad didn't understand. Like, they both thought they did something wrong when
Mm.
it didn't have anything to do with them. Like, but the fact that eventually I got support from people, like my friends that I did make on the internet, had given me such a confidence boost to gradually come out to others. And I think I'm now at a point where I'm not hiding myself anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. That makes so much sense. And you mentioned about how your parents reacted when you came out to them. How did people in general, when you came out to them, react? Were there any reactions that surprised you?
Well, the reactions were mixed. Like, some people
Mm.
were immediately supportive, which was amazing, of course. But then on
Yeah.
the other hand, you had people who didn't understand or were hesitant to accept my identity. Like,
Mm.
for example, when I came out to my friends, they dumped me. They started bullying me. They
Mm.
ignored me completely. So I became lonely. Like, then I came to Twitch, came out on Twitch, and when I did come out on Twitch via stream, they were very inhumane as well. Like
Mm.
death threats, like bullies, like name calling. It has been such a hard thing to do, you know, come out, and that has surprised me so much because I was on Twitch before, and every person I met on Twitch before had always been super nice, super
Yeah.
friendly, and all that stuff. But then when you actually start streaming yourself and you have a topic named coming out as trans, then it started becoming hard
Yeah.
because I banned between 100 and 150 people that stream, which wasn't really a blessing, you know, because it was
Yeah.
actually really hard. Like,
Mm.
I struggled with the fact that people weren't accepting it. So, like, you have no clue how it is knowing that people hate you for what you are. Like, it is very painful. Like, and for me, the fact that I did have support actually helped that fact to deal
Hmm.
with it. But like, it's still a struggle.
Yeah, I bet that must have been so challenging for you. And how did you go forward with that? How did you handle the less positive reactions? Obviously, you banned quite a few people in your Twitch community, but were there any strategies or coping mechanisms you had for coming across the negative reactions from, friends, family, and people that you meet day by day?
Yeah, I mean, like I said previous episodes, I went to Sweden to do the final curtain. I'm not sure if you know
Mm-hmm.
what that means, but
Yeah.
like, if I didn't have Gabby there, I would not have been here. So I leaned a lot on my supports network, like friends who already were aware, who were already supportive, and
Yeah.
as well as communities like yours that have helped me a lot. Like, you have no clue how important it actually is to set boundaries and and that stuff, because a lot of negative people will bring you down. They will, you'll have to be patient with it, like,
Mm.
because you never know what they will do, the less
Yeah.
negative people. Like, I came out, I got punched, I got kicked, and all that stuff. Like, but you try to approach it with patience and understanding, and that's where people often forget the fact that we're still human. Like, it is new information for them, and they might need time to process it,
Yeah.
but they also need to accept that we are people, and that we don't really have to do what they want to do because we want to be ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
we allow people to be themselves, and yeah, so we set boundaries. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we set boundaries to protect ourselves. Like, I myself, for example, I am an open book when it comes to my transitioning. People can ask me anything they want. They can send me a DM. They can ask me whatsoever. But you have to do it with respect. You need to be able to look at a person and be like, okay, this person treats me with respect,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fine. Like, less positive reactions, you can always try to turn them into positive reactions by educating them, because in the end, they might just not know what they're dealing with. Because, like, if I asked you now, what's transgender, would you really be able to be like, this is it?
No, I think the word transgender is so that it's so subjective to the person having that experience and having that journey. I don't think you can put such a defined, definition on it, because it means something different to everybody.
Exactly. Like, for
Mm.
everyone, it means differently, but
Yeah.
the term itself has been used and trashed in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like, so it creates less positive reactions. But like,
Hmm.
you have to keep in mind that most of the people are not informed properly, and if they're not willing to learn, then that's their issue.
Hmm.
But for the people that want to learn, I think media most of the times isn't the correct way. Like, I've set my boundaries. I've distanced myself from people that were less negative, less positive, because
Hmm.
of my own well-being.
Yeah. And it sounds like, going back to setting boundaries, and we were discussing this before we came on the podcast actually. No matter if you're trying to educate someone or if there is someone that's being ignorant, no matter what happens, if they misgender you or, say something, it's still going to hurt you deeply, even if they don't mean it, or if they do mean it. How do you support yourself emotionally when you're having that experience? You're trying to educate someone, but gosh, it hurts at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, at that moment, you have to keep in mind, like, if they misgender you, it's kind of logical in a way. Like,
Mm.
they have known you for years with your old name, your old gender, so they will instantly be like, automatically recalling you to that name.
Mm-hmm.
That is totally normal, but like, you have to keep in mind that you also have to lean on your friends. Well, not
Mm-hmm.
for everything, of course, because it is still a solo journey, but your friends can actually help you get through it.
Mm.
Like, therapy can help, but like having a space where you can talk about your feelings is actually the most important part about this entire thing, because you're never alone even though you're alone, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Like, I myself, I feel lonely 80% of my times.
Mm.
Even though I'm talking to people, even though I'm talking to friends, I feel lonely. But I do
Yeah.
know I have to keep going forward because of the fact that I don't want to lose my friends.
Yeah.
Like, my friends for me are precious, and like, I use them in my negative times. I use them to lift myself up and keep going.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It's amazing you have the friends, the communities, and the support that you need. And even when you feel lonely, as you say, it's your journey, it's your solo journey. So recognizing that loneliness is a part of that, as many as you can have all your friends and family around you, you're still going to have that part of you that's on that journey alone. And it's quite important to recognize that. I think it's also important to acknowledge that coming out isn't just a one-time event. How do you approach coming out in new situations, so at work or with people you've just met on a day-to-day basis?
Well, that's a great point. Coming out, you do over and over again in different contexts. Like,
Mm,
for example, when you come to work, you'll have to be upfront because
mm,
you cannot hide. Well, you can hide it, but it will damage you on the long run. So you basically have to face the fact you are changing. You have to come out because if you do surgeries, they will know. If you wear makeup, they will know.
mm,
If you stop wearing makeup and you start wearing like binders, they will know because people do pay attention at work. So it's better to be upfront at workplaces. And if you're looking for new jobs, well, you cannot really hide the fact that you're trans. People will hear it by your voice because you just came out. They will instantly hear like, okay, something is wrong here, and it
mhm,
will affect your job careers. Like, you have no idea how many calls I've done, and where people were like, "Is Julie home?" Yeah, you're speaking with Julie. Oh,
mm,
and you could hear from the voice that they're not really happy about it, or that they were expecting somebody else. And at that point, you gotta realize it will always be like that until you do like voice surgery,
mhm,
which I've done, but it didn't go great. But it is what it is, you know. But you have to keep in mind that with every person you meet at work, they will know instantly. You
mhm.
are basically the biggest news on the work floor the moment you start working as trans.
Right.
Because I can tell you, I work in a place at the moment where in a restaurant and a bar, which also has like shops and clean departments and all that stuff.
Mm,
Everyone knows me there, but I don't know anyone except my own coworkers.
right.
The thing is, people gossip.
Mm,
People will always gossip because they want to have the latest intel. They want to spread the latest rumor. Like, at that point, when you come out, you're a sensation at work.
mm,
People will look different at you. People will actually see you differently.
mm,
So you have to keep that in mind as well when you come out, that you will have people looking at you. And yeah, you better do it up front, directly. Be like, come out, if you come out, be like, hey, my name is this, and I'm coming out as trans, because you want to be the one that tells people instead of
mm.
wanting your neighbor to tell people,
Yeah.
because you want to avoid the rumors, because a rumor always expands.
Mhm,
You, for example, tell somebody, hey, that person has a crush on you. That suddenly becomes like that person has a crush on you for ages,
Mm.
and eventually the story will be like, oh, that person wants to bang you. Like
Yeah.
that's how rumors go.
Yeah, escalates very
It
quickly.
yeah, exactly. Like you want to
Mm.
be ahead of it. You have to
Hmm.
be upfront, and it won't be comfortable at all.
No.
Like, but it's easier to be direct from start. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And how you approach this is so mindful and so thoughtful. It must be so easy sometimes to react in like an angry or a private way, like this is my story and I'll tell it when I'm ready, but to face it head on and take ownership of it and say, actually, this is my journey and I'll tell you when I want to tell you and I won't let you have that control over me is so inspiring. And given everything that you have experienced, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about as coming out as transgender but is unsure of how to begin that journey?
Well, I would say, first of all, take your time,
Mm.
because when you don't take your time and you listen to other people, it won't be your journey completely. You will not reach the goals that you want to reach the way you want to reach it yourself. So take your time and do it when you're ready. Start with people you trust and know that will support you. Like, people will, your entire journey, people will question you. Like, are you sure you want to do this? You sure this is a good thing? Like, are you sure? Like, the amount of times you'll get the question, are you sure, is insane. Like, I've been transitioning for a while now, and with every step I've done, there's at least 10 or 20 people that questioned me, like, are you sure? So take your time, do it when you're ready. It's okay to be nervous, and things do not go perfect, because
Mhm.
nothing will go perfect. Like, you have to keep in mind this is a journey, and it's not a straight journey. There will be a lot
Mm.
of ups, there will be a lot of downs, like in every parkour you take. But you always have to keep in mind that your safety and well being are the most important things. So if you don't feel safe, don't do it. Just wait until you're ready. That's
Mhm.
basically what I would advise. So set your boundaries and protect your mental health. And if you're afraid or you're terrified of whatsoever, don't be afraid to seek out therapy. You have friends, you have communities, you have a therapist. Like, there's a lot of people that are willing to help you. Like, if you just go to Twitch, for example, and you do like LGBT in the taglines, you'll
Mhm.
find like trans streamers who are willing to help you. You'll find like people who are allies that are willing to talk to you if you really need help.
Mhm.
Like, you can even like approach us and we'll be able to help you if you really want to. So keep in mind that you always have to take your time doing it the way you want, and seek help if you want.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. It's clear that coming out is such a deeply personal process, and it's inspiring to hear how you've navigated it, Julie. So, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I'm sure it's going to resonate with many of our listeners. And I just wanted to reiterate, as Julie said, she's created such an amazing community here. If you ever need any support or any help, you're more than welcome to reach out to us, and I'm sure we'll get back to you.
Absolutely, like you said, it's a solo journey, well,
Hmm.
which it absolutely is, because it is important that you keep in mind that you will be alone in a pool of people. You'll have to do it on your own, but never alone. So keep in mind that even though it's your world, you also need to make the people around you spin with it.
Hmm.
So that's why this conversation is important. Like, it's such an incredible challenge to come out,
Hmm.
and it's a crucial step to living the way you want to live. And for those who listen and thinking about coming out, like, you're not alone in this journey. In a way, you are, but because every journey is different, you're never alone. You have people on the internet are willing to help you. You have therapists, you have friends. There's always somebody out there that is willing to help you if you really want help. But the main part is to never give up.
Definitely, absolutely. We're all here to support each other. So thank you again for this important conversation, Julie. And thank you to everyone for tuning in to Beyond the Binary. We'll be back next week with another episode, so stay tuned.
Take care, everyone. See you next time.